the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg. Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E. Yeah. The truth.
Welcome back to another video, guys. It's your boy Jemmy, and for today's video we are going to be looking at the MK11 and seeing why it's so underused in Phantom Forces. So before we start, let's go over the background of the MK11 and see how it got its name. The MK11 is a designated marksman rifle developed by the Knights Armament Company in the United States of America. It weighs about 15.3 pounds, has a length of 45.5 inches, has a caliber of 7.62, its effective range is 1500 yards, and its feed is about 20 rounds in the magazine. The MK11 is a highly accurate and durable precision semi-automatic sniper rifle that operates like an M16 or M4A1 and can deliver a 7.62mm round out to 1500 yards. Due to its high degree of accuracy, it has won acceptance by the US Special Operations Forces as one of the most finest semi-automatic sniper rifles in the world. So this weapon is highly praised in real life, but how does it fare in Phantom Forces? As you can see, it is unlocked at a relatively low level of 3. Has a damage output of 45 to 38 within the ranges of 110 to 160 studs, has a magazine size of 20, 21 when chambered, and an ammo reserve of 80, and it can only fire at a semi-automatic rate. When looking at these stats on paper, it makes you wonder, why is this gun not being used even though it's at least really decent? And we'll find the answer to that question right after we go through the pros of the MK11. The first pro of the weapon is it's very stable when firing. It's also very pleasant to use since it has a damage output that can 2 to 3 shot players and a fast reload time, making it easier to save your life or kill more enemies. It is also unlocked at level 3 once again, which makes it really accessible to the newer players. Has an aggressive suppression effect that makes it hard for your enemies to fire at you, and finally, it's just amazing at medium to long range combat, and it's really effective once you know how to use it very well. However, despite all these pros, we can finally answer why this gun is so underused and underrated. So the main reason why I believe the MK11 isn't utilized in Phantom Forces that much is the fact that it's just really hard to use because it just has such a high skill cap that just blocks and barricades all the players that want to try and use it. And the most apparent obstacle that makes players not want to use this is the rate of fire of this gun. Yeah, it's decent, it's in between the SSR and SKS in the game, however, it's just not good enough. You need to have one or the other, really high damage output with a low firing rate, or a really high firing rate with a low damage output. If you have one in between, it just feels awkward to use, and it's not really favorable for most of the player base. You want one or the other. And you might be saying, Jimmy, that's stupid, you can't choose one or the other playstyles, you can mix them both together, and I say that is true, however, it's not efficient. And let's take this from a real life standpoint. Let's say the SKS is a fork, the SSR is a spoon, and the MK11 is a spork. You have the SKS, which is really good at picking up spaghetti and chicken and doing that job. You have the SSR, which is a spoon, which is really good at picking up soup and cereal, basically any liquids. And then you have the spork, which can do both of the jobs in between. However, it's not going to be as efficient as the other two since those things are designated for those objects. This thing is just trying to fill in for both. So if you choose one or the other, you're going to be more efficient at doing those jobs. So what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is the MK11 only applies to players who like the hybrid in between the SKS and the SSR. Just think of it as picking the right tool for the job. You want to have a shovel if you want to dig dirt, you want to have a pickaxe if you're mining rocks, and you don't want to have something in between because it will take longer to get the job done, which is basically getting the kills with the gun. And before you start flaming me for my differing opinion, I just want to say that there are some people who are really efficient with these hybrid guns, such as the MK11 as we're talking in the video. So just, understand that people like this gun and it's just not favorable for most others. And the final lingering issue why I think the MK11 isn't used is the fact that most players' PCs are really weak and do not get a constant 60 frames per second, so this gun just becomes insanely hard to use. This will most likely explain the reason why DMRs aren't really being used in the first place, since instead of using a really precise weapon that takes a lot of accuracy to use, you can just use an assault rifle or a light machine gun that just sprays and gets kills easily. So overall, I think the MK11 is a decent weapon to use, but it really is hard to determine how you want to use it unless you use it yourself. So go try it out and see if you like it. If not, you might like the SSR or SKS, which are honestly better choices for me. However, if you like this hybrid style, then congratulations, this weapon does appeal to you. I give the MK11 2 dancing Snoop Dogs over vanilla ice cream. The name's Jemmy, and I am still not a weeaboo. Don't forget to drop a like. Yeah, you should like and comment right now. Like and comment, just like and comment right now. But for real, guys, thanks so much for watching.
Let's get it. I Millie rock on any block. 2 milli. In my polo tee, my polo socks. Let's get it. On top of cars, my face hot. I Millie rock on that Gates block.